Every once in a while, growing potatoes can offer some surprises, such as little green fruits that can mature throughout the season. Now, these are not edible, of course, and in fact poisonous. However, to us as gardeners, farmers, agronomists, whatever, these fruits can have some interesting utility, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. So, every once in a while, not very commonly, you can find fruits, right, hanging off of a lot of potato varieties, but they don't really occur commonly, right? Most of these other crops, most of these other potato plants that I have in here have not produced berries, at least not berries that have stayed on the plant. Some of them have dropped off and such, but over the course of the season. But these are actually beginning to ripen, going from green to more of like a paler green, and they may pick up a little bit more of a yellowish hue. But anyway, I'm just letting these sit on the vine a little longer, and then maybe collect some seed. Right. So potatoes are in the solanaceous family, so they are related to tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, and those such things. And the fruits kind of look similarly, right, to eggplant or like a green eggplant, or to tomatoes even. However, potato fruit is toxic, right? So it's not safe for human consumption. That's because of the solanine and the chaconine, and some of those glycol alkaloids that are contained in the fruit in relatively high amounts. However, potato breeders will often grow out the fruits, collect the seeds, and use those to breed new varieties. Right now, this process can take some time. The first year, the plants are going to be small, and it may take a little bit of extra time to produce tubers, and then you can plant those out and see what types of varieties you get, and maybe go through some selective breeding of different fruits from different plants, and trialing those and see which ones work best, or which ones possess traits that are most conducive to what you want. So I've kind of been thinking of experimenting and kind of saving my own potato seed. That way I can grow out more genetically diverse potatoes, kind of have more of like a landrace, or more of like a Grex over time. That way the potato plants could potentially be more resilient to certain diseases, or other things that may cause crop failure. And you want to kind of take a lesson from the Irish potato famine, because otherwise what we're planting, if we're just growing and saving the potatoes themselves, those are essentially clones of the plants that produce them, right? And oftentimes, especially in small gardens and whatever, if we're saving those same potatoes and stuff, we're really kind of narrowing that genetic pool, right? And over time, it could potentiate more of an issue for diseases and such in the plants moving forward. I think it would be kind of fun to just kind of experiment and see what types of potatoes could be gotten, right? And if there are certain ones with certain traits that might be best suited to the landscape in which I grow, right? And over time, over years of selective breeding, that could kind of hash out like a locally adapted potato variety in my landscape. So my goal here is to really grow a more genetically diverse potato crop, and not necessarily be completely true to one variety. Now, I'll still collect the tubers from these, so that part of the variety will still remain, right? And I'll be able to continue to continue to grow that, but I can kind of bolster that with other potential varieties and genetically diverse plants, potato plants, in future seasons. So I'll have to see how I can grow them out successfully. I may probably have to start them indoors earlier in the season from seed. Maybe even I don't just plant them in the soil, but maybe what might work best is to start them like I do the pepper seeds, right? Incubate them in you know, in cloth or paper towel on a heat mat, in a container and such, right? And then as they sprout, I can pick them out, put them in pots, and probably start them indoors and then plant them outside later in the season and just kind of see what happens. Now, of course, even there can be a little bit of genetic diversity in the potato plants, potato tubers that you grow, or that you save, because the potato plants can kind of change and develop over time. I forget the exact term. It's something like somatoplasticity, or where you can still get some genetic changes and stuff, even though you are getting some clones. But there is, or does seem to be, some type of thing going on there that will produce some level of genetic diversity among these plants over time. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video on the potato fruit that is poisonous but useful in other ways, such as in growing out more genetically diverse crops of potatoes or breeding new varieties, things like that. And so, of course, as always, as a viewer or a listener, feel free to subscribe to this channel if you find value in it, and also consider joining as a member, right? It's a pretty small nominal monthly fee, and it really can help this channel out quite a bit. And the currency, the energy that can be put into this channel can help it grow and encourage me to try some new varieties of plants, of different tools or different growing methods, and it helps to support the continuation of this work. So thank you so much for checking out this video, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.